AC Green Show.
Welcome to the AC Green Show. I'm AC Green. If you don't know what we're all about, we're building a community of goal-oriented, success-driven individuals who recognize the value of coming together to do great things as we all build financial wealth and live holistic lives. So let's deal with this. What, in your opinion, is the remedy, is the answer for systemic racism? Yeah, how do you look at systemic racism? If you had to think about it yourself, what is that thing that happens to you or that has happened to you, or what is that thing baked into the system that we need to get rid of so that we can once and for all rid this nation of systemic racism? Is it possible to rid America of systemic racism? It seems to me that it's baked in almost every single thing. You almost have to redo the Constitution, in my opinion, to get rid of systemic racism. But I want your opinion. What, in your opinion, is the answer for systemic racism? So Bob Johnson, the former owner, the founder of BET, Black Entertainment Television, he put out a whole proposal, and it's about what, $14 trillion? Yeah, $14 trillion, he's saying, which is about $300,000 per African-American family. I think there's like 43 million African-Americans in this country. So that would be about 300,000, 350,000, something like that, for every African-American family. Is that good enough? Or should there be a residual payment? What do you think about that, by the way? What do you think about a residual payment to African Americans to just cover the whole thing? Because in my opinion, trying to rid, the nation of systemic racism, man, you got to go through every nook and cranny. It's so many things. It's baked into everything. Why not a big payment? But is $14 trillion enough? 350,000 roughly for every African-American family. Is that enough? Is that enough money? Or should there be a residual payment, meaning that for as long as America stands, as long as America exists, African-Americans and their generations to come get a residual payment from the country, like, let's say, $100,000 a year forever, $200,000 a year forever. So which would you choose, like the lottery, huh? Would you choose the one-time payment, or would you choose the payment over time? I think black folks in this country, it's something we should consider. Get a payment for as long as the country exists. Why? Because when somebody owns something and has ownership in something, that's different from working something. It's not like we're working in this country. It's really like we participated in the ownership because we built the country. All right. So when you work at building a business or work at building a structure or work at building something, you have participation in it. I have partners in some of my businesses, and I participate wholly with them in the business. We share in the profits for as long as the company exists. You get what I'm saying? So if African Americans built the country, if our labor established the country and made it hugely profitable, it stands to reason that we should get a residual payment over the life of the country. As long as the country exists, we should get a payment. But what is your opinion? What is your remedy for systemic racism? And what do you think? What kind of reparation should black folks get? Or should they get a reparation? Or should we just fix the system or the systemic racism? You got a situation where NASCAR is now banning the Confederate flag. That's one thing that's going on. They're tearing down the statues and the monuments, across the country. That's another thing. A lot of symbolism there. Is symbolism good enough for you? Is that all right? Is that the remedy for systemic racism? Or do we need to do more things? Should we go into the educational system, the health system, and fix all those things? A lot of entanglement there. Or should we get a reparation like Bob Johnson, $14 trillion, or should we get a residual payment for the life of this country? I want to know your answer. What is your remedy for systemic racism? For me, it's all about community. So we're giving to each other. You're my sister, my brother, and I love you. When you rise, I rise too. Be well, everybody.
It's all about community.